New stunning information, the Jeffrey Epstein story this morning. And you know the woman who was just found guilty and she's in prison now, and she was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Do you know who I'm talking about?
The one who finished his sentences?
Yeah, we'll call her G-Dog, okay, so we don't get flagged. Her family says that they're scared for her safety. Why? Because Jeffrey Epstein's French modeling agent friend, Jean-Luc Brunel, who allegedly had procured more than 1,000 women and girls for Jeffrey Epstein, died suddenly in a prison this weekend. Suddenly. Isn't that odd? How these people keep dying suddenly in prisons. What are they trying to hide? What do they know? Jeffrey, and here he is. Like, here's his name. They called him Jeffrey Epstein's pimp, Jean-Luc Brunel. He hung himself alone in a Paris jail. And apparently, this is amazing. There was no CCTV. There was no closed caption what was it? Not closed caption television. What is CCTV?
That's closed caption. Closed circuit.
Closed circuit television. It was turned off. There he is.
So it was there, just like the other one, just like Epstein. It was there. It just happened to not be working that day?
Yeah, just was off.
Oh,
no CCTV. It's so interesting, right? He was suspected of being a member of Jeffrey Epstein's global underage ring of women. And the G-Dog's family says they were shocked by his sudden death. I mean, look at them playing together. Here she is. Here's G-Dog. He's like biting her head. You know, this is what people do when you're friends. I bite the head of my friends all the time like this, don't you?
So if I'm not, they're concerned.
Exactly. Here he is with a group of girls from his modeling agency. And this comes days after Prince Andrew agreed to settle that case with Virginia Roberts that he allegedly met through Epstein and, G-Dog. In the settlement, there was no admission of liability, but, paying out a lot of money. Apparently, though, they're worried about this sort of suicide risk. Like, what's going to happen? They now find him hung himself in a Paris prison with no closed caption television closed circuit television.
And why was he in a French prison? Just out of curiosity.
He was arrested last year. He was found guilty of trafficking minors, and then federal prosecutors tried to, basically, he was tied to. He was accused of procuring thousands of women, and he was arrested at an airport. I forget where he was arrested. What airport he was arrested at?
So he was arrested.
Senegal.
It was tied to the Epstein case.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, why is he? What did he know? What did he know about this? And the same way that the prison cameras were not running at the time that Epstein died. How many more of this? Like, I just don't believe in coincidences. Do you?
No. And the two guards just happened to be reading magazines, like.
Yeah, the guards weren't.
And you
there.
don't see something like that, like.
Cameras were off in a prison where you literally have like the 9/11 or the World Trade Center bomber kept. Like, this is like a high security prison, right?
I'd
where
like
you
to
have
see
some of the most important people in the world kept.
I'd like to see those prison guards' bank account after that and their house, like their house deeds or whatever. If they what did they get?
CIA took care of it.
Yeah, something.
So yeah, no video in the final hours. There's no cameras suddenly. Like in the final hours, it was just like oddly that day, we turned them off. Nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing.
Conan's saying cameras in prisons don't go off, and that's true. Like anytime it's something that fits a narrative, like the camera's there, but. In these two instances, they just happen to be off.
Yeah. And Virginia Roberts said she was disappointed that she would not be able to face Brunel at the trial to hold him accountable. It says the suicide of Jean-Luc Brunel, who abused me and countless other girls and young women, ends another chapter. I'm disappointed I wasn't able to face him in a final trial to hold him accountable, but gratified that I was able to testify in person last year to keep him in prison. All these people, all these other former models coming forward saying they were underage at the time, saying it makes me angry because I've been fighting for this for years. I wanted this to end in court. I didn't want this to be the way that he went. He was arrested at Charles de Gaulle Airport while trying to board a plane to Senegal. He told detectives, I'm going on holiday. But he was arrested. I mean, There was an ongoing investigation to confirm all of this, like everything he was tied to. But so many of these people, no wonder G-Dog's family is concerned for her safety. They keep dropping like flies, right? The people associated with this, they keep dropping like flies who have this information about, and world leaders. I mean, don't we want to know more about like Bill Gates and Bill Clinton and all these people that were at Epstein Island?
Well, and that's the fear. I feel like that's why this is happening, because that's exactly what they fear. They don't want that getting out. You know how many powerful people are on those lists?
Yeah, exactly. And we did know that she was going to release information on that, right? She was supposed to be releasing names. I'm wondering what's going on with that. Burnell was suspected of having been a part of this whole ring organized by Epstein, and how he was able to funnel these women to his island and other places. I mean, he was like the main go-to guy. They were all from the 1970s, 80s, and 90s. Sadly, though, like a lot of the accusations fell outside of the 20-year limit for prosecuting these crimes in France. And police called him the Ghost because he was considered untouchable. He was able to continue working even though they knew that he was this bad guy. They couldn't do anything to him because all this stuff was like outside the scope of prosecution. So there you go. Another Epstein friend bites the dust mysteriously. There he is, hanging out with him on a plane, private plane.
Pardon the pun.
Yeah.
That's like, it's, like if G-Dog ends up making it through this, then, I'll be shocked.
Yeah. I mean, well, I know her family's concerned about suicide watch for her, of course, but I don't know. I would love to know. I would love to know what happened, who all these people were associated with this, these different high-level members. Prince Andrew, is one, but there's more. There's way more. I would love to know why Bill Gates was going there on a regular basis, Hula Hula says Trump flew on Epstein's plane, and Epstein flew on Trump's planes. They lived 1 mile from each other. Oh, yeah. Of course there's more there.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Of course there's more involved in this story.
Like my grandmother always...
I don't believe in coincidences.
No, like my grandmother always said, if you are in your house and you see a couple mice, like you see mice, you have hundreds.
I've never heard that before. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that. If you like this content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, we have a membership program. For the price of a cup of coffee once a month, you can support independent journalism just by going to morninginvest.com/join.
You get access to exclusive videos, plus the ability to join and chat with us live. We really appreciate your subscription, and you are supporting independent journalism.